having won, of course, back-to-back premierships there. Here tonight, live on Super Saturday, and it's Lockie Miller who gets us underway. The kick will go down to Jerome Luai. He hands it off to Matt Eisenhuth, and Eisenhuth it is. We'll bring it here, play it just short of the Panthers 20. Mitch Kenny in there at dummy half. Sony Luke waiting for his chance to come into the side midway through the first half, as Liotta takes a carry from his own end. Good meters here by the Panthers early on. They made a statement early against the Seagulls and went on with the job. And out on that left-hand side where they made so many meters last week against Manly, it's Martin who brings it back to the halfway line. Yo, little in and away. Brings it back just outside the Knights 40. On this opening set, a chance for Cleary to put up an attacking kick. Crichton trying to push through to put some pressure here on Greg Mars, who has been quite the find for Newcastle on this left wing since taking over from Heinel Hunt. Had his chance, of course, when Dominic Young was dropped for that one game. He's taken that with both hands. So best playing. Here is Dominic Young, headed for the Roosters in 2024, skipping past Liam Martin there. Crossland waiting at dummy half. Comes to Saifidi. Rejoined by his brother next week, Jacob, who'll be back from a suspension. And they've done well here to take it back into Penrith territory as Crossland, who will be potentially the long-term dummy half with, of course, Jaden Brayley out for the remainder of the season. Turriva under the high kick. Does well, getting some pressure there from Dane Gagai pushing through. But he makes the catch, and Penrith will work it away through Tungor here from just outside their own 20.
There's a physical start from the Panthers in that opening set. Liam Martin with a couple of carries, but Newcastle responded perfectly. Nice and physical themselves as they earned a much relief penalty. Then it was Marzu and Young that got their set starts. Off to a flyer. Leo Thompson giving away a penalty here in the middle. It'll be quite the battle, was the outside backs, given how good both these sides are and the quality of their outside backs.
On the line here, look at those Panthers outside backs right here as they go on the attack. Contact there with Saifidi up on Liotta. Offload though to Edwards. Ran it up very quickly. He came to the 40 by Tyson Gamble. Now Cleary with numbers down this short side. Crichton hopping and stepping. As he comes to launch the tackle there of Matt Croker. And they're just outside the 20. From Kenny, here's Cleary. Bypasses Liotta. He finds Yo, who is manhandled there. Fitzgibbon coming in. The contact from the edge forward was too high.
Yeah, the ball movement there just too much for the Newcastle defenders, and it's Cleary and Yo again. Just changing angles through the middle, not a lot in that. And Nathan Cleary just opting to settle things down a little here, get some early points off, and Cleary relaxing into the match. But the Panthers attack is clicking straight into gear.
They're surprised by this, Mick. Fairly conservative, given that was their first real chance to go inside the 20. They're going to take the 2 instead.
Just the home crowd here, they can quickly get behind the Knights when they start to get their tails up. So some early scoreboard pressure might be enough just to quieten them and allow the Panthers just to take a deep breath. They'll retain possession off the kickoff, and it's their yardage where they're so strong, isn't it, Was? They rely on their outside backs. Their middles do a good job through the middle.
This man kicking at almost 90% for the season so far. 22 from 25 from pretty much right in front. It's Nathan Cleary who does give the Panthers the lead. They lead at 2 points to nil. Just 4 minutes gone here at McDonald Jones Stadium. Big game coming up beyond this one at full time. Titans against the Broncos, another South East Queensland derby. He has added so much to the premiership in 2023. So it's Miller to get us back underway. The Knights, this improved run of form to begin this new season, mostly with their handling. They've been getting more football on average than they did last season, and they've got through vastly more completed sets than they did in 2022 also. See how they fare defensively here first up. As Eisenhuth works it away from 20-metre line, playing it now for Kenny. Martin down that short side. much a lone wolf there with only Tungor on his outside. Here's Yo. Here's the shift. Comes across to Hosking, who brings it back within 10 of the halfway line. What a carry a number of times last week he had against the Sea Eagles as Edwards turns it back on the inside. Crichton loses the ball there in the tackle. Good cover. Coming across, Leo Thompson was involved there and forced the mistake from that man, Stephen Crichton.
Yeah, it's a couple of times Cleary's been down this right-hand side attack for the Panthers, and it's time just changing angles on the back, on the inside of Edwards, and just a loose carry. Good work from Fitzgibbon back on the inside. And you saw young Zach Hosking there having a carry on that right-hand side. What a sign of recognition, the fact that they've brought Liam Martin back in on the left-hand side, and he retains his position on the right for Penrith, just given how good he's been over the last few weeks. Talk about taking your opportunity.
It was quite remarkable, isn't it, Mick? Game number 8 only in the NRL for Zach Hosking. Such speed at the line as well. He gets going quickly. It's the Knights at the halfway line. And play it here through Croker. Crossland, the utility. Nice job for the Knights from dummy half. So plenty of time in that role earlier in the year when he filled in for Jaden Brayley, who was concussed and knocked out of the game as goes from Hastings. Gamble turning Frizzell back on the inside, running to Martin and also Luai. They've done well. 30 metres out. A couple of plays remaining here at the back end of this set. Hastings trying to catch them out there, but he got monstered. So it takes him out of the equation for a kick. Miller puts it up. Edwards coming forward. Turova was there. Young, though, got a hand to it and tried to tap it backwards. It fell eventually for Kenny, who cleans up for Penrith.
Boy, he's an athlete, Dominic Young. That was a nice kick from Lockie Miller, just stepping up when when Jackson Hastings, I beg your pardon, was caught with the footy on the last, and Dominic Young just up above Taruva and Edwards.
And scrambled well, the Panthers. They work it away from their own end as play it here just inside their own 40. To'o wearing the headgear again as Leota. Stop there, and then another offload. Edwards pushing through the middle. Slips over, though, as he comes across the halfway line. Penrith with one more. Cleary with the kick. We go down towards Miller. In trouble to make the catch. They work with Marzu. Such a solid body he is. He'll play it here just outside the Knights 20. Young driven sideways, strong contact there. Leota up in his face. Oh, they give away a penalty though.
Yeah, great carry there from Dominic Young, who's getting busy again through the middle. Just keep an eye on the surface here. Just noticing both sides trading sets, and ground seems to be really ripping up underneath the players' footy.
Front foot here, guys.
And the outside backs of Newcastle. Well, you heard Tyson Frizzell before the game just saying how important it was to do a job on the outside backs of the Panthers. Well, the outside backs of Newcastle terrific early.
Here's Hastings. Comes across to Saifidi. We'll go down to James Hooper in a moment for a report on conditions. Lovely autumn's day in Newcastle this afternoon as Hastings finds Miller. He had Cleary there in a bit of trouble initially, but he recovered well, the halfback. We'll get him out near the sideline now as Miller plays it inside the 30. Comes back to Hastings. There is Thompson. Much of a gain there, so they lost their way in those last couple of plays. They've got 2 left in their set. Hastings reaches high. Gamble kicks out wide for Young. Turova on the back pedal. He did well eventually to make the catch. Tracking back, looking over his shoulder as he did. And again, they've got them here in this corner of the field. The Knights looking for an ambush as we go downstairs to James Hooper.
Evening, Warren and Mick. Evening, everybody. Perfect conditions in Steel City, and having the home fans come out off the back of a couple of gutsy wins by the red and blue. They face their toughest test so far this year up against Premiers Penrith. And as Mick Ennis has just pointed out, this surface is chopping up a little bit, so we will keep you posted about it.
Kick here from well inside the 40 from Cleary. The bounce, though, a favourable one for Lockie Miller. And the Knights had looked destined to go well into touch inside the 20. But the ball set up with a point. Miller couldn't believe it, and off the back of that, they get another penalty. to help them out of their own end.
There's a great kick there from Nathan Cleary. Drove it into the southeast corner, and it was a horrible bounce for the Panthers, but it was a beautiful bounce for Lockie Miller. Sat right on its point, and it's the late footwork and the fight on the ground, the sheer strength of Lockie Miller that earned his side a penalty and a relieving one.
Back-to-back penalties for the Knights. They've completed 5 sets from 5 possessions to this point. Just to emphasise the point we made earlier, how much better their handling has been so far in 2023. It's Croker playing it here for Crossland. Comes across to Gamble. Is Thompson. Hit there, and a strong tackle by Hosking, doing it on both sides of the ball this season. Miller chipping in behind them. A race now with Edwards. 2 speedsters. Edwards gets back there and cleans up for Penrith. But what a confident play by Lockie Miller.
Well, he leads the competition for tackle bust, but this time it's just brilliant awareness. He recognises Dylan Edwards has put himself in the defensive line. Plenty of grass behind him to chance his hand. Does so. Lands the kick. Weight perfection. As we see the early drop out here from the Panthers. Nice work from Miller.
They don't waste any time. Interestingly, though, they didn't go short. It was a conventional dropout. And Saifidi it is who brings it back within 25 of the Panthers line. No Croker. Takes him inside the red zone. Crossland looking to his left. Nothing doing there. Hastings and Gamble on the right, though. Gagai comes towards Tungor. With some help from Luai. They stop him 10 out from the Panthers line. It's Hastings. He'll find Saifidi. Daniel, not much of a gain there. Burns a tackle. Takes it back towards the uprights, though, and they're set for a shot now on the left-hand side. Both halves there again. First man option from Hastings for Croker. Cleary did well. Last play. Gamble throws a dummy. He goes in. He sets them alight here in Newcastle. This big crowd that's built since kickoff. And it's the Knights on top early on here. They lead 4 points to 2, Mick.
Yeah, well, it started with Lockie Miller all the way down the other end, who recovered the Nathan Cleary kick. Ernie side a penalty the previous set. Beautiful kick over the top, trapped Dylan Edwards in goal. And a bit of pressure on the Panthers try line. Nathan Cleary caught in the tackle. They struggled to adjust. There's Cleary caught at marker. Kenny had to get down the short side. Crichton just sliding out. And it was Gamble, ball in 2 hands, just jabbed the dummy. And it opened up, he can't believe it. The Knights, well, hold on, it's Newcastle all of a sudden in front with the ascendancy.
Well, what a season this has been, the way the results have gone. Emphasised again by our earlier game right here on Super Saturday. Warriors too good for the Cowboys there, one of the heavyweights from last season, and here are the Knights. Tyson Gamble, well, he's always up in their face and always has a lot to say. And he was lapping that up, the adulation from the crowd as he threw the dummy, slid in, put them in front. And now Lockie Miller had the Panthers under pressure and got that goal line dropout with his heads-up piece of play with a chip and chase. And a rather anxious coach, Adam O'Brien, at the best of times he is, looking about as comfortable as he ever gets in the coach's box here in Newcastle. From about 8 in, from the touchline, Miller bending it back a little bit too much bend on this one, but the Knights on top. We've had 13 and a half minutes. Watch it again as Hastings jumps out, quickish play the ball, and Kenny just jamming in on the decoy run there of Fitzgibbon. It opened up that space on this left edge, and Gamble took the chance to go straight through. He has been quite the pickup. What a job he's done, of course, filling in for Kalen Ponga, who will still be out of action for some weeks to come. Other reports coming out of Newcastle. The kick from Cleary. It's a deep one. It has Young under pressure. They'll get a result. Touched there by Thompson, but he was already way beyond the dead ball line. And a kick floating in the night breeze here in Newcastle. Not a lot of spin on it. Young didn't want to catch it. Thompson was almost in row 13 when he touched it.
Gee, that's a big blue there from Dominic Young. He just had to back himself and get underneath the footy there.
They go short, flying high. Edwards is there to bring it down for Penrith. A chance to hit straight back. It's Eisenhuth. Taken inside the 10. Another offload here. The forwards, Liotta and Eisenhuth, have been great with their second phase balls for Penrith. Kenny will come across to Yo. Stuttering run. And the Saifidi does well with some help from Croker. Back to the open side. Short ball again. Liotta standing, backing his way in. Wrap him up this time. There was no thought of an offload. Cleary coming out quickly. Crossland gets to him. Great defence. Such speed off his own line. Luai comes back on the inside. Harassed there by Crossland again. Ball sits up here. It comes back to Bradman Best. What defence by Newcastle, and it gets them a big result.
Gee, that was a poor play there from Jerome Luai. Nathan Cleary tracked heavily by Phoenix Crossland on the previous play, and he just robbed that pass across the ruck in hope. Jerome Luai will be disappointed with that as Marzu now carrying hard. They're inside Penrith's half again.
Listen to this as well. Set restart off the back of it. Andrew John stand tonight heaving with supporters. As Gamble waits for his chance again on this left-hand side. They work it through Frizzell inside the 30. They're set now for a raid back towards Gamble. Instead it's Thompson who just carts it forward. What defence they show to give themselves this chance. At the edge of the red zone. Hastings bypasses Gamble. It comes to Bradman Best. He wasn't held. Let's play on here for Gamble. Croker pushing up. Good shot though around the ribs. Terrific tackle by Liotta. From Crossland. He fires it through Gamble and now Miller goes out the back. Gagai for Young. He's hard to stop.
Great tackle.
Chance to go again. Turova got there against a much bigger man. But Frizzell off the quick play the ball. It is on Newcastle. The Knights are on the rampage. Frizzell goes in. They have a second try, and they're giving it to the two-time defending champs.
Yeah, that was beautiful work out of dummy half, and just listening in the pre-game, and couldn't agree more with Yvonne Sampson and the guys back there. He's fit, he's rock hard, and he's had a great start to the year. Tyson Frizzell, this was a brilliant tackle down low from Taruba. And again, a fast play the ball. Look at the Panthers, Eisenhuth, not even back on side. It was great play the ball from Dominic Young. And Dane Gagai just hit a rampaging Tyson Frizzell, the veteran. Well, he's loving it. And Newcastle right on top early. You can't get back to that poor pass down the other end from Jerome Luai. Just uncharacteristic from him. And the defensive line of Newcastle, the energy from the crowd and from the home team, frustrating the reigning premiers early.
Boy, it feels like it's a long time in waiting to see this sort of performance. It is early on. They'll need to stay calm, these weary Newcastle fans. It's been such lean times, so long here in this rugby league mad city. But they sense they've got a team. This season, Miller again drags this one left. 0 for 2 so far tonight, but they lead it 8 points to 2.
And this crowd of over 22,000 Novocastrians are absolutely loving this early start. The error from Jerome Luai here, and we see Bradman Best swoop in and storm upfield. And then it's Tyson Frizzell suiting up for his 13th season in the NRL. He's now in his 3rd season with the Newcastle Knights, and he has been back to his absolute consistent best over the opening 7 rounds of the season. Game on.
Well, we said at the kickoff, the Knights will need to be fully committed tonight against this Panthers team that's put solid through the Raiders and the Seagulls in back-to-back performances. But this is remarkable what we've seen so far. Standing tall they are as they work it away from their own end. Here is Dominic Young, who went so close to scoring, denied only by the effort of Sunil Turova. At the back of that turnover, they had the Panthers battling. Here they are, leading by a converted try midway through this opening half. sense of electricity running through the air here at the back of what they've seen these fans in the opening exchanges. Croker to play it. Comes back to Hastings from inside the 40. He hooks it down the middle of the field or thereabouts. Turva, deep kick from Hastings with plenty of hang time, so the chase is a good one. He's only a lightweight, Sunia Turva. And they'll drag him back inside the 30 as Luai works with Tungor here. And you know how composed, how patient they can remain in games, the Panthers. See how things progress here in the next couple of sets when they get the ball in their hands. Luai surging out towards Martin. He can wait for that pass. He takes it back inside the Knights 40. They've got a couple of plays remaining in their set of 6 from Cleary. Floating sideways, turns it back on the inside for Liotta. Three-man tackle stops him there. Yo pushing up with Cleary out the back. And he just tips one in behind the line. Miller is there, so is Crichton. Crichton has a swat at it. He comes up with a fresh air swing. Miller makes the grab, and the Knights just ticking all the boxes at the moment, Mick.
Yeah, it's been outstanding, hasn't it? I mean, Nathan Cleary there just trying to loft the ball in the air just enough to try and bring Lockie Miller into the collision. Well, he's on tonight, Lockie Miller. What a pickup he's been over the summer for the Knights side.
He's made that #1 jersey his own. And we've already said when Kalen Ponga does return...
Oh, here we go.
Don't start, mate.
Ponga will come back in the #6 jersey at some stage, such as the form of Miller, but here...
There's Dane Gagai giving the referee a spray, playing the footy.
That's the way it's been taken. Wait, it's not quick.
And still going.
When you're ready.
What to say, Dane Gagai, well, what a mistake this could prove to be.
Leo, let him up.
They've been rolling. They're a perfect 10 from 10 before that, as far as completed sets were concerned. And a big mistake here, as they worked it away from their own end. Instead, it's the Panthers on the attack. Cleary to the line. Hosking cut down there by Saifiti. Working hard from the inside to close the door. Set restart as well now for Penrith. Here comes back on the inside for Liotta, who almost steps through Croker's tackle. Kenny, he finds Yo. He's back on the inside there, where they work it towards the uprights. Sorensen it is who'll play it underneath the black dot. Edwards for Cleary. Crichton, short ball. Brian To'o goes in. What a turn of events here in the last 60 seconds. To'o scores for the Panthers. They don't waste a chance to hit straight back. And Dane Gagai, he had a lot to say. He might be a bit quiet now, Mick, behind the try line.
Yeah, it's beautiful work, Dylan Edwards. It's a part of his game that's continued to evolve. His ball playing, he steps up at first receiver this time just to get Cleary a little wider so that Cleary can be the decision maker. And you can see there, Cleary got it right. The catch and pass from Crichton, superb. But you're right, Warren. The Newcastle Knights all week, we need to start well. We cannot give this Penrith side, we can't give them anything at home. We just cannot give them anything. And it's their experienced man, Dane Gagai, mouthing off at the referee and giving away possession 30 metres out from his own line. And all of a sudden now the Panthers with a chance to level up. Who would have thought? I mean, it was all Newcastle 5 minutes ago. And what an enormous penalty that was from Dane Gagai.
Well, it's hard to believe. They were perfect, absolutely perfect through the opening 20 minutes plus. And then that gives the Panthers a chance. A wry look in the face now of Dane Gagai. As we said, fairly quiet behind the goal line. They've been given away possession as they worked it away from their own end. And here's Cleary from the sideline. Try and make this an 8-all scoreline. We're talking about that descent penalty for some time to come, depending on how this one plays out. Cleary fades it away beyond the right upright, but To'o puts the Panthers on the board as far as try scorers, James Hooper.
And Newcastle coach Adam O'Brien, Warren, will be absolutely livid with this man, Dane Gagai. He gives away this penalty here while the Knights are in possession for dissent. He's clearly given the referee a spray there. He didn't appreciate it. Penrith get the penalty, and then the Premiers just go crack, bang, put it through the hands, and it's Brian out on the right edge, who had an absolute whale of a game in round 6. 7 tackle busts, 225 metres for the Panthers. He has started the year on fire.
He chalks up those sort of metres most weeks, doesn't he, Hoops? As the Panthers work it away here, so quieten the crowd for a moment. Certainly quieten the coach after he might have exploded about his right centre giving away such a crazy penalty. We saw the reaction of Peter Goff, the referee, immediately. He heard what Gagai said and blew the penalty straight away as Liotta plays it there as Yeo takes it towards the halfway line. Cleary through the hands there of Martin. It comes to Luai, Warren Smith, Michael Ennis, James Hooper, bringing you a cracking contest here in Newcastle. The Knights on top of the Panthers. Here is Liotta standing in tackles. He has been very good. Offload to emphasise your point. Here's Hosking. Comes to Crichton. They'll wrap him up, but what a start from Liotta. After his performance in the grand final last year against Parramatta. Cleary puts it up. A chance there, flying high. Martin almost came down with it, but he knocked it on as he came to ground, and the Knights get out of trouble there.
If you want to set there from the reigning premiers, 70 metres upfield, and then a nice little touch from Cleary, just in no man's land. Young had to come in, and Liam Martin just unable to hang on to the footy there. The Panthers starting to find their groove.
They're certainly warming to the task, aren't they? After being rocked by those back-to-back tries. One in the 13th minute to Gamble, one in the 17th to Frizzell.
A couple of changes for both sides too. You can see Scott Sorensen into the action. I think Eisenhuth's left the field, and Kurt Mann also out there for Newcastle as the Knights get another yardage penalty. It's been a number of penalties now to the home side, and cheap ones too, just gifting the Knights an easy exit out of their own half. Marzu's been a handful again.
And those carries certainly make sure that the Panthers have to try and control the contact beyond the tackle being completed in the case there of Sorensen, who a little bit too far for the referee's liking. So Fitzgibbon from just outside the 20. He'll play it here for Crossland. Comes back to Saifidi, who'll just work it forward, and that right arm poised for an offload. He hangs on to the ball. And now Gamble rushes out to the right edge to try and link up here with Hastings. It goes to Thompson as the first man option instead. Hastings again now. Kurt Mann is there. Miller over the top. A chance for Marzu, who put the brakes on. 4 Panthers are there, and they'll hold him up, but only just.
Tackle 4. Play the ball 10 out. Let it go
on
there,
the
guys.
skates
Leave it there, Stephen.
on this surface. Watch this from To'o, who gets caught in field. He's sliding and skidding everywhere. The grass coming up from underneath him as Marzu tries to wrestle his way over. Desperation from the Panthers, but huge concerns with this turf, Warren.
He's chopping up badly, especially in that northwestern corner as the Knights go to Gamble. Frizzell, quick hands. Gagai cleans up the loose ball, and the pressure there from Tungor. Oh, and then Martin cleaned him up as well, but he got the ball away. Kurt Mann. He's there to play it quickly on the last. Comes to Gamble. Grubbers. Well weighted. Edwards. Oh, he was patient, and that patience was rewarded. Fitzgibbon was coming quickly, and they'll get 7 tackles from their 20 as a result. Chance there for the Knights again. A loose ball, quick shift back to the left-hand side. Almost brought them at least 6 more players.
Yeah, I really like this injection from Ivan Cleary. Sonny Luke out there, he's been so crafty in the early parts of the season. Just watch his ability. Oh, there's an error here from Tungor.
Well, they put it down to the halfway line, and here are the Knights coming right back at them. Leading this 8 points to 6. 13 out from half-time. Second of 3 games on Super Saturday. Watch it again. Attention there as he went to ground. He's picked up momentarily. Ball coming free in the tackle. The attention at least over the top from Hastings. Crossland still there at dummy half. Hastings back on the inside there for Thompson. Good carry, equally good stop on the Penrith defence. Hastings. For Gamble, no looker there. Fitzgibbon really looks sharp tonight with the ball. Confident style of play in attack. He's produced points already. 2 tries to this point. Last play in this set. Crossland rubbering, pushing through, safe. Beattie was there. Crossland will chase his own kick and score another one for the Knights. It was bouncing around for safe. Beattie. He hit the deck. Crossland stayed alive, and he beat all the Panthers' chasers to grab 4 more points for Newcastle.
Yeah, really nice work out of dummy half. It was a messy play. The ball Hoskins caught in the ruck. And Phoenix Crossland, who's been missed to fix it to start the season, played in a number of positions, 5'8" last week. This time, Saifidi and Edwards collide, and then all of a sudden, Phoenix Crossland on the back of his own kick just swoops around the outside and gets the footy down. Newcastle now with a 6-point lead, try confirmed. And you're right, Warren, their attack looking extremely sharp in this opening half.
Well, we mentioned earlier in the game he was very good filling in for Jaden Brayley back in round 3 against the Dolphins when just 7 minutes into the game. Jaden Brayley was ruled out with a concussion, so Crossland played the rest of the game at hooker. And what turned out to be a loss, albeit, to the Dolphins in round 3 as they went down 36-20. But boy, they are such an improved outfit from that point on. 2 wins and a draw in their last 3 games after that loss to the Dolphins. And they're on track here for perhaps the upset of the season. It's Miller from beside the uprights who adds 2 more points. What an occasion this is proving to be in front of a huge crowd here at McDonald Jones Stadium. The Knights 14, the Panthers 6.
Yeah, beautiful work there from Phoenix Crossland. And to come on the back of another error from Isaac Tungor, coming out of yardage, and Ivan Cleary will be filthy. That man, not so much. He'll be wrapped. There is some genuine belief building in the Hunter, and what a month they're putting together.
Still plenty of time here in this first half as well. 10.5 minutes remaining. And it's Dominic Young who'll play it. Inside the 20 as they work it away. Take it forward here through Jack Hetherington, playing in game number 50 tonight in his NRL career. Taking him a long time to get there. Very much a stop-start beginning to his NRL career. Took a number of suspensions with both the Panthers and also the Bulldogs. Spent some time with the Warriors also on loan during the pandemic season. Now here they are off the back of points already inside the 40. Frizzell plays it here on the last. Hastings can put up an attacking kick. It'll come down inside the 10. Turova goes to the air. As he's taken mid-air there by Miller, the referee says no. He's slowly back to his feet, the Fiji. Looks to be okay now, and Tungor it is who'll play at 5 inside his own 20. Good catch by Sunia Turova. Yeah, great catch. And what a set it was from the Newcastle side. Just, boy, Warren, what a lack of respect for the reigning premiers. They just went arrows straight in behind their ruck. Every single carry, charging through the front door of the Panthers' defensive line, just rolled upfield so easily. Now Cleary off the back of that, kicking from well inside his own 40. It's a tremendous kick, Nathan Cleary, getting the Panthers out of trouble. What a kick that was. That's ridiculous. Yeah, you just watch the replay here. He's almost off balance too when he hits it.
Behind the 10, guys.
Almost off balance from the pressure of Phoenix Crossland. Lands it inch perfect over the top of Marzu. Boy, what a kick from Cleary. Could have had 2 already as far as 40-20s are concerned. Unlucky not to produce one earlier in this first half. Here they are, down by 8, 5 metres out from the line as Yo heads to the left-hand side. Martin is there. As
runs a very nice line. Well handled though this time by Hastings and also Gagai along with Frizzell. Sonny Luke goes to Yo. Here's Cleary taking them on himself. They have support players there. Hosking pushing up. He takes to the line. Set restart here for Penrith. They go again through Luke from dummy half. Hetherington was around the shoulders and no more. Luai, he throws a dummy. Takes on Saifidi and also Kurt Mann. Nothing doing though. Here's Yo. They keep punching it back through the middle. Seen this in a number of sets inside the 20 for Penrith. Now a chance to go to the edge. Cleary, Hosking, handled there by Bradman Best, who was posted on his own. As his support defenders went to the decoys, he did well from Luke. Comes back to Cleary. Now Yo out the back. Luai, Gagai came in, read it nicely.
It's a high shot.
It was too high.
Brilliant read from Dane Gagai. That had to be made. They had numbers on the outside there. They were in big trouble, Newcastle. The ball playing of Cleary and Yo through the middle, threatening, just a fraction high.
Quick tap. And it's Mitch Kenny who goes towards the Newcastle defence. Repeat sets. Comes to Cleary now back on the inside. Charging hardly, and Martin went through one tackle, stopped there by Mann. From Luke, it goes to Yo. Hoskins there again pushing up. Yo takes a dip at them. Comes back to Sonny Luke. He gives it on that left side to Sorensen. He's only a metre out. They rush to dummy half. A mix-up there between Luke and Martin, and the Knights survive.
Yeah, brilliant work from the Newcastle side. Ivan Cleary just watching on in almost disbelief how they didn't score. Well, the Newcastle defensive line just so resilient. They're scrambling. This man, Jackson Hastings, came up with a crucial tackle on Sorensen.
What an effort. They've shown some ticker already, haven't they? It was opening 34 minutes. The Knights on top, 14-6.
Look at this one. It's almost uncontainable.
Another big carry by Marju. Puts them on the front foot. It's done that time and again in this opening half. Now Brodie Jones is out there playing it for Crossland. And as they kick towards the corner, it'll turn around. They want this to stay in play. To'o gets wrapped up. There's no way back for him. What a night this is proving to be for Newcastle.
Beautiful game management there. The Newcastle bench, they're up and about. Great kick over the top. Look at the chase from Best. Just so committed, so tenacious. Lachlan Fitzgibbon pats on the back. Great work from Bradman Best. Newcastle just suffocating the premiers of possession.
Stay behind here. Stay on side, Stephen.
Well, they go short here. Pressure on Kurt Mann. Crichton is there. Juggles it, loses it. What a play that would have been. Here's Miller launching a counter-attack. He comes away to Best. Brushes past To'o. Crichton is there. What an effort from him to get back there to make that tackle. Set restart for Newcastle. They're just outside the 10. Chant goes up again here at the Donald Jones Stadium, and they get a penalty.
Bit of rubbish on the face is what they call it these days. Hastings, he's going to elect to take the 2 here, is he? It was Hosking that came up with the little facial, waiting for the bench to signal what they want to do. I think Newcastle might keep going here. They've liked what they've seen attacking the Panthers' right edge. I expect them to come back there.
Well, they had to tap it. They could really rock Penrith here if they can score another try before the break. Just over 4 minutes remaining. Crossland goes to Kurt Mann. Brodie Jones out. Some attention, and boy, they've gone close there. Mann almost got to the line. Hastings comes to Miller. 6 again, another set restart here with Penrith up inside the 10. You rarely see the Panthers under this sort of assault. But here they are on their own line again as Marzu takes the carry. Tackles to burn here from close range. Hastings comes back to the middle. Hetherington chop him down around the legs. Eventually, Hosking got there. Boston back to this left-hand side. Hastings, Miller, quick hands. Marju, Cleary got there to put his body in front. Sliding cover defence by the halfback. Hastings chipping. There was a chaser coming through in Tyson Gamble. He was knocked down. This could be a professional foul.
Oh, it is.
It will be. Spencer Leniu can't believe it. But Gamble was taken down on the chase. Hastings looked to him, chipped it.
It's Sorensen, it's not Leniu. Leniu's done nothing wrong.
They are just going to check here to make a bird of it, to make sure, and the Panthers are challenging this decision.
The kick chase is onside.
Spins.
Leniu doesn't touch anyone. He collides with Sorensen.
Did his foot maybe
Spencer,
just clip Gamble on the way through?
Quite possibly. We'd have to see the
just looking to see whether there's any interference from Spencer Leniu on Tyson Gamble.
Oh, he might be right, Boz. Is it the back heel?
Spencer Leniu turns to face the ball. The contact is incidental. The kick is then diffused in goal by Jerome Luai. The challenge is successful. It'll be a 20-metre restart.
Gee, what a change of events here.
Because the decision's overturned, Spencer stays on. We've got a 20-metre restart because the ball's caught him off.
They were about to concede at least 2 points and be down to 12 men. Instead, Penrith get possession and will begin from the 20 with 7 tackles. Might be the best captain's challenge you've ever seen.
That's the best challenge we've seen, was. Yeah. Oh, Adam O'Brien, look, he can't believe it. Riding the roller coaster of rugby league.
An incredible call here. There was at least going to be a 10-point lead. Instead, maybe more.
And now Leniu runs for 20 metres.
He'll score before the break. It's written in the stars given what we've just seen there. Unbelievable captain's challenge. So they're back inside the Newcastle 40. They can't get to half-time quick enough, these Panthers, but they'd like to add points before they do get back to the sheds. Midway through this set, the 7-tackle set, Yo bypasses Cleary, knocked on by Luai. Yes, says the referee. The Knights just keep getting up in their faces and forcing mistakes.
Well, how often have we seen Jerome Luai come up with the pass that we saw earlier in the game where he just lofted it over the top and was a turnover? How often have we seen Nathan Cleary just bat on the ball under pressure? The Knights have got them rattled at the moment.
Still coming to grips with the captain's challenge and what we saw and the change in the game from what it was going to be to what it became.
Well, the Knights have had 1 error in the opening half. The Panthers 6. And a lot of them have been forced from the good defence from Newcastle.
And here they are again, the Knights, to work it off their own end through this yardage set. Fitzgibbon to play at 10 short. Crossland is there. Miller. Dancing he can do. Boy, he's a mover. Tremendous to watch. What an addition to the game he's been, the 28-year-old. Lost to rugby league as a teenager. He's lost the ball here as well. That'll give the Penrith Panthers a chance, Mick, right before the break with the full set from the halfway line.
Yeah, well, if the Panthers could somehow salvage a try and go in at 14-12, that they would be absolutely wrapped, just given how dominant Newcastle have been in this opening 40 minutes. And then Lockie Miller, who's been a star in this first half, just comes up with a loose carry here. Cleary around the ball, just getting his hand in there, and I think that's the right call. I think he let it go, hoping that he'd get his side a penalty. The referee having none of it. Penrith now with a chance, right on the stroke of half-time, to find more points.
Just a second mistake by the Knights, Mick, in this opening half. The other one was the descent call against Dane Gagai. That's how good they've been. Their first real handling error of the game right there. Gives Penrith a chance. Tungor takes it to the 20. They'll play it here for Luke as Yo finds Cleary. Hosking back on the inside. Well handled, though, by Crossland, with some help there from Kurt Mann. 10 metres away. Luke goes to Yo. Another pull ball slipping over Luai. He's having all sorts of issues on that left-hand side in the last few sets. Tungor saves his blushes. They've got 2 plays remaining. The Knights try to protect this 8-point lead. Cleary hands it off. Lenu back on the inside. Good contact again. What a job they've done in their own line. It was Croston who made the tackle. Luke kicks. Sorensen is there. On the last play before half-time, a ricochet off the kick from Luke, and Sorensen scores for Penrith. You wouldn't read about it.
Oh, they're going to get through it. I've got 4 players in front of me, Phoenix. I'll do my best, mate, but I can't see everything.
Yeah, referee saying it was hard to see. But again, it's the craftiness of Sonny Luke, who's been tremendous, and it's his short kicking game that's, again, featuring. Just watch this. A little bit of deception. Looks out, kicks it, ricochets off the inside of Hastings' leg. Did he get it down? Oh. Gee, you'll do well to say just whose hand got that ball down. It was Frizzell and Sorensen almost at the same time. And if it's simultaneous, it'll go with the attacking side.
A suggestion on that previous replay that, as we expected,
Just got a bumper referral. Just looking at the grounding.
Look at this under the microscope. And under the microscope will be the
Cleared all
nature
aspects
of the
play
put down
leading up to
here.
this. Scott Sorensen is onside.
Sorensen cleared as far as being onside as he maintained connection
Scott
with the
Sorensen
ball.
gets his hand to the ball first. He then loses possession and the ball touches the ground. We have a decision.
Sure about that.
That angle there with the blurring of the play in between frames there. And there's what's undone potentially. Scott Sorensen and the Panthers so close.
Oh, listen to this, Woz. Listen to the home fans.
He has become a star literally overnight since coming to the NRL. Here he is to make the catch. Oh, my goodness.
I'm sorry.
That's the worst commentator's curse I think we've ever seen. Sorry, Lockie.
Oh, Lockie.
Not only you, Mick, but me also. And he does that. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's hit some floating, towering kickoffs this evening, Nathan Cleary, and that one just slipped through the grasp of Lockie Miller, and that hurts. It has been a phenomenal 40 minutes from the Newcastle fullback, and a chance to go short here and potentially get the ball back.
Will it go the 10? That's the first part of the equation. It doesn't. So a mini disaster here to begin the second half for Newcastle. And this crowd, which was buoyant, was jubilant, are beside themselves as the team left the field at half-time. The chant went up. A little hesitation in their voice now, and certainly that of the coach, who can't believe that's how the second stanza begins. Penrith trailing by 8, aren't thinking about the 2 here. They want to make a statement initially, being given this golden chance presented to them on a platter. We'll see if they can make the Knights pay. Kenny playing it, comes through Yo and now Cleary. Back on the angle is Sorensen. They'll take it down within 5 of the Newcastle line there. Seat wide and deep. To this right-hand side, Yo. And that edge once again. Take it towards the uprights. I'll play it there to Sonny Luke. Kenny it was on the carry. Cleary. He comes to Hosking. Good defence by Newcastle. Hetherington was there. So was Fitzgibbon. Gamble also slammed him on his back as Cleary heads out to this left-hand side. Luai out the back. Here's Tungor. But the Knights, it's almost like they have 20 players on the field defensively tonight. They've been so good inside their own 20. Cleary again on the last. Chipping. Kenny was chasing. Crichton taps it backwards. Comes back to Yo. Still the last until they turn it over because Tyson Gamble was there. Staying alive, a heads-up piece of play, and again the Knights have defended a mistake.
Yeah, they're full of confidence and full of aggression. That was a brilliant defensive set from the Knights on their own line. The Panthers now really starting to rack up some numbers, attacking the Newcastle line, and have hardly looked like scoring. They've been tremendous, Newcastle.
What an effort that was. Look at the mistake off the kickoff from Lockie Miller and then giving away the penalty from the dropout. Now a shift goes to Bradman Best. All's knocked on. Marju reached behind himself. I thought it might have been play on, but the ball propelled towards his opponent's try line, and as a result, Penrith will get a chance to do it over again. Here's this play by Gamble. Pushing up, staying alive, realising there had to be a ball to come out the back from somebody, and he was right there to take it. And then that one, oh, 2 or 3 grabs, just couldn't reel it in.
Yeah, certainly not the start Adam O'Brien would have wanted from his Newcastle Knights side. And Lockie Miller, a couple of errors to start the second half. Now one from Mars. You just cannot give this great Penrith side possession.
Tungle off the scrum win. Play it here, 30 out. Newcastle line. It's on this left edge to Sorensen. It came out quickly there. Line speed just been remarkable tonight. Can't remember a Newcastle team defending with this sort of line speed throughout a game. A bit to go here, although they forced a mistake once again. It was Lenu this time trying to work off Sony Luke, who hit the line hard but forgot about the ball. And Hastings has it for the Knights. Just keep finding ways to force mistakes from this Panthers outfit, who will pull with their hands in the first half, completing just 12 of 19 sets in total. On Newcastle, they were terrific. 18 sets they got through from 20 total possessions. They're almost back here at the halfway line. Jack Johns is out there, a try scorer 2 rounds ago up in Mudgee. And that enthralling draw against the Sea Eagles, 32 all after 90 minutes of action. 40 out here as Hastings will kick. Towards the corner he goes. 2 of us standing underneath it. Joel there took the second grab and brings it back. And so the Knights have done well to work it away after absorbing some early pressure. James Hooper.
A blow for the Newcastle Knights at half-time, Warren. Brodie Jones has been ruled out of the contest with a quad tear. That means that Jack Johns, the other man on screen at the moment, is playing in the middle of the field for the Knights. Adam O'Brien, he just wants them to continue with their completion rate, stay in the fight. And for Penrith, tidy up the ill-discipline and the errors from Ivan Cleary.
I guess the good news for Penrith is that as much as they've been outplayed by the Knights, they trail by just the 8 points. And we know how quickly they can get going. And across the halfway line they go, and Sorensen it is. Taken onto the attack. As Luke works from dummy half, still in there for Kenny for the moment. Kenny out there playing as a running option. It's Yo. In and away. Good tackle though by Jack Johns right around the legs. Just cut him in half. Luai. He finds Sorensen. Again, Johns is there once more. Back-to-back efforts from him. Last play here, Luke from dummy half. He popped it away, and it's Fitzgibbon who cleans up. He runs towards Edwards, who was looking for a one-on-one strip. They just keep staying alive, pushing up in the line and forcing mistakes, and they're there to pounce, and Best here already almost back at the halfway line. Now Marju. What a game he's having. Quick play the ball as well. He's done so much damage in those yardage sets tonight for Newcastle. They're back within 30.
6 more.
Crossland said restart as well. Indication there from the referee and confirmation into the PA system. His 8-point lead could become more in a moment here. Here's Johns. What's happening for him there? Crossland. Oh, whistle, a mistake there in the play the ball. After all the good work at the other end from Jack Johns, he's just made a little error there in trying to play it for Crossland.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with that, Jack Johns. He's come up with a couple of tremendous tackles down the other end of the field since coming onto the field. And Sonny Luke, Nathan Cleary and the leaders of the Panthers, no doubt just going to get to their dummy half and just say, mate, we don't need to overplay things. A couple of thick times in this second half as we look at the error there. Ball just sticking to the right end of Johns, maybe a bit of extra grippo. Just causing some dramas, but Sonny Luke will need to tidy up his work at dummy half for Penrith.
Kenny's still out there, as we said, in a running roll, so we'll wait to see how long Luke stays at dummy half for. Here is Cleary now surging to the left-hand side, and to help them out at their own end, the Knights jumping the gun through Gagai and also Dominic Young.
Yeah, plenty of energy in the Knights' defensive line, just overdoing it a fraction there. It's 2 yardage penalties now for the Panthers in the last couple of minutes. And they're really starting to mount some possession and territory down in Newcastle's half. They'll need points soon though, Warren.
Confidence taking a bit of a shot tonight so far from what we've seen. Yo, here's Lenu. What speed he has. Good tackle though, right around the legs from Hetherington, who was underneath. Just outside the 20, and it's Yo spinning in the carry, and still going. More than a 720 there, maybe a 1080. Where's his skateboard? He'll play it inside the 10 from Luke. He goes to Edwards. Crichton puts it down.
Boy.
Their handling has betrayed them on several occasions in attack tonight, and it was building again there until the pass from Edwards. Just out in front of Crichton. It was a good ball, wasn't it? It was there to be taken.
Yeah, well, 49 minutes into the game and 11 errors now for the Penrith side, whose completion rate to start the year has been sensational. But they've hardly come up with errors. Look at that, just 14 from 25. Talk about uncharacteristic.
The worst completion rate of the year is 80%.
Yeah.
4 out of 5 there. So far below that tonight, it's not funny. Especially if you're a Panther supporter watching on, as Gagai is driven back here. He'll play it at the 10. See if they can respond defensively here, forcing issues for the Knights. Young playing it there is Frizzell. He takes a run, brings it back to almost the 30. Crossing wants a penalty, doesn't get one. Good run here by Marju again. Oh, he puts it down. Such metres after contact for him. He might run for 300 metres plus tonight, but watch it again as he runs towards Kenny, bursting through tackles. Kenny comes again, no thought of a strip there, no hint of a strip. And the error for Marju gives it straight back to the Panthers.
Well, the completion rate for both sides to start this second half. Putrid, to be honest. They'll need to get it together.
Jackson heading, thinking.
At the moment, they're
All the way. Clock's off.
both just can't get through a set. Penrith now with great field position again.
Luai comes out to Tungall here off the scrum wing, backs his head through the tackle.
Square Tyson.
Crossland working hard, boy. He's a tired number 9 at the moment, I can tell you, Phoenix Crossland. He's getting back into the defensive line there. He was really feeling it. As the Panthers work it back midfield. Goes to Yo. There he was out the back, but it goes instead to Lenu, who back his way down to the Newcastle 10. Luke looks right, comes left from Yo to Cleary. Good short ball there. Jamin Salmon on the field. They were sweating on him though. And good picking up those lead runners tonight, Newcastle. Cleary finds Yo. It's Edwards. Best coming out of the line, shuts down the fullback. Yo comes back to the middle. Luke looking for an option. But there isn't one there. Searching for something still are the Panthers. Cleary to the line. Edwards, Crichton coming in. Marju gets contact on him and he gets some help. They shut him down.
Yeah, great pressure there from the Newcastle left edge. There was a chance if Crichton had got the ball to Brian Toto just on his outside. But Marju jamming in an important read and a try saver it was.
Chant goes up again momentarily here in Newcastle. What a night they're having. And what a carry this is from Dominic Young. He and Marju, what a show they're putting on. And Miller off the back of that. Oh, it slipped over as he came to the 40-metre line like he was taken down by a sniper. And it's just dropped it as a result. Is there a problem here with Sonny Luke?
Well, both Kenny and Sonny Luke struggling a little through the middle. I mean, we all come here talking about Edwards and Taruva and To'o and the power out of the backfield from the Panthers side. Well, tonight it's been this man. Another error, unfortunately, for Miller. But Greg Marju and Dominic Young have completely overshadowed the Panthers' outside backs as we hit over the 50-minute mark of the game. They've been tremendous, the Newcastle wingers.
You're right, Nick, they've overshadowed the Panthers duo, haven't they? Brian Topo, to this point of the game, 7 carries for 66 metres. And it's a meagre tally for somebody who runs routinely for 200 plus. Leniu it is, who goes back inside the 20. As Luke has recovered from that knock he took. Now Yo for clear, they just keep jamming in and getting to their targets, although this time the target was too high from Tyson Gamble. The Knights can't believe it. They're all saying that Cleary was slipping over, but no, that's a non-factor when it comes to high contact.
If I'm Penrith here, I take the 2. Just to settle things down, get themselves back within 6. They're not going to, but oh, yes they are. Yes they are. The message came from Ivan Cleary, and it's a smart one. They didn't take their chance after the error early on from Lockie Miller when his dropout didn't go 10 metres. This time the high contact from Gamble. And the game's just struggling to find any rhythm at the moment. It's been very stop-start, number of errors. A little bit of shoulder contact, not a lot in it from Gamble, but enough to be a penalty. And the Penrith captain had a chance to put them back within a converted try.
So a piece of fortune for the Panthers. And the man on the end of the tackle and beside the uprights. Try and bring this back to a converted try, the difference. It's been a remarkable game. We still have 25 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Cleary. He makes no mistake. 14 points to wait, and points have been hard to come by tonight for a Penrith outfit. They scored 53 against the Raiders and 44 last week against the Seagulls back there at Bluebet Stadium. And walkie-talkie getting quite a workout in the second half, no doubt, from that man Ivan Cleary, Mick.
Yeah, Adam O'Brien watching on with Danny Badiris as well. Intently, game just right in the balance at the moment. Both coaches would be disappointed with both sides starts to the second half. The error count has been enormous. Newcastle at the moment just have all the answers defensively for the Penrith attack, which is stunning given the amount of points they've scored in the last fortnight.
Well, the Knights will take that as a win, won't they? The fact that they forced the Panthers to take the 2 points, just to settle things. Here they are with Leniu bringing it back. Boy, they're up there to meet him as well. A couple of arms swinging there.
Saifidi in trouble, was just clutching at a right shoulder by the looks of things.
He's out here on this right edge at the moment. And he has that right arm just hanging by his side. He is certainly less than 100%. We'll see if he can stay out there. Edwards, or rather Hosking with a carry. And that was Jack Johns who nailed him. Good contact again. Salmon goes to Luai, gets him behind Frizzell. Oh, he grabbed him by the hair. Unfortunate there for Tyson Frizzell. He's got some flowing locks, hasn't he, Jerome Luai? And he was just reaching out to grab him, no doubt, by the collar. To grab the flowing mane of Jerome Luai. Yeah,
and he's hurt his left knee here too, Tyson Frizzell. This is a nice play from Penrith. Just gave them the little overlap with the ball from Salmon and trying to grab hold of the jersey. Well,
you know, he had a hold of the jersey. He had no doubt some hair, but he had jersey as well here. Look at that.
Was when they've got long hair like that. I mean, Tyson Frizzell's just trying to grab the jersey, and I mean, you roll the wild haircut. Sometimes they're going to get older.
You can grow your hair down to your shorts and never be able to be tackled. So a fortunate penalty there for the Panthers. And Leota it is who takes it towards the 10. A little bit of the rub of the green in the last couple of minutes in this game. The visitors as Cleary turns it back on the inside. Salmon will slide out and plant it down. There was a man up in the line. For the moment, it's a try for Penrith. But the bunker will need to clear. Was it Spencer Leniu floating out on this left-hand side? The inside ball for Salmon had him pouring through a hole. And he reached out to plant it down. He was always sliding in, so the double movement should be okay. But what happens here, as the ball goes back on the inside, he's okay.
Yeah, he's
nobody interfered with them, Mick.
No, and you're right. You mentioned Phoenix Crossland just starting to tire through the middle. And the chain just broke. The Newcastle chain that has been so solid for the opening 60 minutes of the game, and it's just a bit of change of direction. And on this slippery surface, Crossland just didn't land on his assignment, and Salmon, beautiful leg speed and a lovely play from the Panthers. They've gifted them big blocks of possession, and this champion side, well, they've found a way through finally.
And now Cleary, off the back of a couple of penalties. They've taken points, 2 of them initially, and then 6 off the back of the hair grab by Tyson Frizzell, ruled by the referee to have grabbed the hair of Jerome Luai, and it cost the Knights points. James Hooper.
Speaking of Tyson Frizzell, just keep an eye on him once play resumes. He's running back up to the halfway point for this kickoff at present, Warren, but he just looks to be hobbling. He's picked up a bit of a left ankle issue off the back of that try to Jamin Salmon, which has levelled the scores.
Yeah, it looked like he hurt it, didn't he, when he got tied up in that contest with Jerome Law.
He did, no question about it. He was hobbling immediately off the back of that kick-off here at deep one, down to Luai. And they will bring it here through Lenu to play it just outside the Penrith 10. We've got a finish coming up. Stay right where you are. We've got beyond full time, of course, the Titans and the Broncos. That will be a beauty as well. See if the Broncos can bounce back off the back of their first loss in round 6 last week to the Raiders. As Kenny jumps out from dummy half. Yo. It's been a great Super Saturday to this point. Almost back at the halfway line. Kenny for Edwards. Back end of the set, takes that carry before the play. Tom Trbojevic does the same thing for Manly. Luai to the air. Awkward one here to handle. Turova going to come backwards off him. It was touched by Newcastle. Now a whistle, and it will be knock on against the Knights.
Touched by Dane Gagai, he's saying, the referee.
You've got to knock on from Dane first.
Will they challenge it?
And then knock on. It's up to you, Charles. Yep.
Yeah, they're going to challenge. They are. What a kick it was from Luai.
Challenge.
Well, the ball comes
Newcastle challenging the decision of first knock on by Newcastle.
Yeah, I thought so too,
But does it go backwards in relation to him, but from the point where he touched it, does it actually go forward? There it is, just about the line, and then touched
by Gagai.
Just checking to see where the ball goes off Sania Turuva.
I don't know there'll be a definitive angle here to judge which way it's going from Turuva.
Just checking to see if it comes off the arm or the shoulder of Sania.
That's just bad luck for Dane Gagai. That's just a reaction to try and reel the ball in.
We were talking about the rub of the green going Penrith's way in this second half.
Hits the back of his shoulder.
Comes off the upper arm of Sania. Just checking to see the direction now.
Adams up and about. He's going for a couple of laps in the coach's box.
It was always going to happen. Where is he there in relation to the line?
Sania touches it before the line. The ball continues to travel forward towards the opponent's dead ball line, which is a knock-on. The challenge is successful.
Wow, it's a big call, isn't it?
Yeah.
And given what we saw there, again, it's hard to be definitive unless you had a camera right in line with that 10-metre line.
Given what we saw that last replay, the more you looked at it, the more there was a suggestion that it actually did go forward towards the goal line of the Newcastle Knights from Turuva's shoulder. So the Knights, a little bit of luck. They were due a bit, I think, given what we saw those previous couple of penalties at this end of the field.
That's great work from Penrith. 2 really good tackles on Young and Marju, who have been super dominant.
Now Jack Johns being good off the bench, fires the ball out the back here. Boy, had some hang time, that pass. Comes back to Thompson. And he'll bring it back here towards the 40 for Newcastle. And they've considered 8 points in this second half. We're inside the final quarter now. And that's Fitzgibbon. Comes to Johns.
He's brought some energy, Jack Johns, hasn't he?
Been tremendous. Growing in stature in this Newcastle 17 week by week. The kick from Hastings.
Comes down to Turova. Young is there. He was coming like a freight train. A big Yorkshire freight train on top of Turova. And Turova did well to catch it and slump to the ground in the one motion and avoid the contact. Now an offload. Comes back to Edwards. From quick hands. Turova. They've got them. Salmon for Tungor. Young is back there. He runs towards Hastings, does Isaac Tungor. The Penrith, with some adventure, bring it back to the halfway line. Here's Edwards. Comes out to Hosking, hands it off to Crichton. Going from sideline to sideline here. Minimal gain there, maybe only 5 metres for the Panthers. Edwards is there again. Play 5, takes that carry, looking for a legs tackle.
Starting to show his class, Dylan Edwards, getting his hands on the ball more.
And Cleary with the kick. Pressure on Miller, who put down the restart as we began here in this second half. It had them under pressure, but they absorbed all of that. Eventually cracked. Here is Gagai, stepping back in behind some teammates. Not much happening there, and the Panthers really finding something here as we head to the championship quarter. They've been so good in the last 2 and 3 seasons from the 60-minute mark onwards, Penrith, but they give away a penalty here.
Panthers, you felt were just starting to get on top, Warren. Really starting to make some easy meters. The ball's starting to stick with their offloads and some short passes, some easy meters coming their way. And the game almost just fell into that set-for-set mentality. It's Fitzgibbon now with a carry up towards halfway.
They've had by far the better of the penalties. 5-1 in this second half to Penrith, 9-5 overall, but this one for Newcastle has them in Panthers territory. Saifidi has shaken off that knock to the shoulder. He looked in big trouble 5 minutes ago, but he's done well to shake that off and stay out there for his team as they'll play it. Man from dummy half. Taken over from Crossland. Now there's a high contact there from Crichton on Best. The crowd certainly, and the Eastern grandstand thought so. No call from Peter Goff, the referee. And they're just outside the 20. Johns has lost it here once again. He got up barking at the referee, hoping there's going to be a call go his way. Isaiah Yeo with a hand thereabouts. And they still had their challenge, of course.
Let's go, come together.
Oh, that's a big blow for Newcastle. It was a tremendous set. Every time they've moved the ball out to that left-hand side to Best, he's looked dangerous up against Crichton, just getting on his outside a couple of times. Penrith, they hold on there.
Rather, of course, they used their challenge, so they're out of that as Panthers work it away from their own 20. And now Turova for Luai, who had Hastings under a bit of pressure. He played it super quickly as well, and as a result, Turova stepping in between defenders, takes it across the halfway line. Just like that. They get themselves out of their own end, and here comes a shift back towards the middle as Cleary sends Liotta back underneath. Yeo comes to Lenu.
They're really starting to make some inroads through the middle now, the Panthers.
Well, the speed differential is suddenly graphic. They're on their own line, in trouble here, Newcastle. Yeo stepping through defenders. He beat Johns, he beat Saifidi. Taking the ground eventually. It's Luai out the back. Tungor runs into Gagai. That's a big, big stop by the veteran.
It's been quite the battle. He was enormous last week, Isaac Tungor, 130-odd metres in just the first half. He gave Morgan Harper an absolute bath out of Bluebet Stadium as Johns comes from the field. But the battle out in the centres tonight, and I just mentioned with Crichton and Best has been a beauty, but this side of the field with Gagai and Tungor has been outstanding.
We'll wait and see who blinks first as far as maybe a shot at field goal to break this deadlock at 14 all. And Jackson Hastings, as recently as last season for the Tigers, a field goal winner. A remarkable game, of course, against the Eels. Here he is with the clearing kick. Put in the air, plenty of carry on this kick as well. Boy, he's got a big boot. Goes down to Turova, who brings it back at speed. And they begin, Penrith Panthers, just outside their own 20. We've got 14 remaining. A blockbuster, as it's turned out right here. Oh, heavy underdogs coming into this contest, the home side. This big crowd turned out off the back of their recent form. 2 wins and a draw, and here they are taking it to the defending champs. Luai stepping back towards the 40. 3 plays gone in this set. Cleary at first receiver. Salmon with it, the man who scored that try. And level things up at 14 apiece. Short side, Edwards here again. Play 5, dummying into the backfield. Grabbed by Gagai, who makes another important stop. Penrith have one more. It comes to Cleary. He goes to the line, kicks off the outside of the boot. Crichton taps it on. It goes to To'o. He puts in a second kick. Miller is there. He tries to bring it back. He can't. 2 kicks. Penrith get themselves a goal line dropout.
Oh, Lockie Miller. He just realised he was out of his depth there. Big Moses Leota a little hot under the collar. Boy, what a passage of play this was. Who Dylan Edwards has just announced himself in this game. Enormous last week for the Panthers, 4 tries. And just given how many stoppages and errors there were in the first 60 minutes of this game, he found it hard to get into the game, Edwards. Well, now he's pressing. He's really starting to make his mark, the champion fullback.
Let's see what the option is. A couple of cracks, you'd imagine. See how quickly they are thinking about 1 point here. Sorensen, he got crunched right there. They opened the game wondering if they could produce the sort of starch to really trouble Penrith tonight. They've got starch by the bucket load here this evening. It's Yo for Cleary. And the inside Salmon's there again. It almost opened up like the heads for him again. He poured through a hole. Thompson only just stopped him. Yo for Cleary. Numbers here. Edwards for Crichton. Great scramble once again. Bradman Best was there. So was Tyson Gamble. To'o comes back to Cleary. One towards the post. Sorensen it is. Are they thinking about one? Cleary's on the right edge. He wants 4 points. Tapped on by Edwards. It bounces up. They've hung on again. Marzu, a no-looker. He gives it to Miller. What defence by Newcastle.
How good. This has been a ripping game. That work there from Marzu. The tap on from Edwards didn't find its mark. And Marzu just not hesitating, playing with confidence, found Miller. Watch this. Doesn't hesitate, Marzu. Nice little flick around the court. That's brilliant.
Penrith had a chance to set it up for a shot at field goal. We'll wait and see how that decision plays out. Still 11 minutes remaining, but in this contest, as good as Penrith defend themselves, a 1-point lead would have been gold. Frizzell playing it. Comes here to Hastings. He'll kick towards the corner. Young is there. He might have been escorted off the ball. Yes, he was. Desperate work there by Tungle, who took him away from the line of the ball. It'll give Newcastle a chance from out wide to retake the lead.
Gee, just a slight touch from Isaac Tungle, but it was enough. Just let that right shoulder in. 14 all. What do they do here, Newcastle? Do they take the 2? Looks like they're going to elect to take the 2. Dylan Edwards locked in conversation here.
That bump pushes Dom past the contest, so he takes him out of that.
Boy, Dominic Young, they are trying to isolate.
Oh, well, we may never know, but that bump takes him out of Dylan.
They're trying to isolate Taruba. Just like we saw Ruben Garrick the other week in Mudgee, where Dominic Young just launched over the top of Ruben Garrick. Well, I think had he had a free run there watch this, I reckon he jumps straight over the top of Taruba. He definitely gets there, doesn't he?
Well, he was forced to overrun the ball by the efforts there of Tungle, who took him right away from the contest. It was a no-brainer to call. And now Miller, who's hooked a couple tonight, on the wrong side of the field as well, for the right-footed kicker.
When we have a look at the reverse view here for Lachie Miller, you're spot on, was he's pulled both of his kicks left. And if you look at that McDonald Jones sign there, he almost needs to start it right at the end of that McDonald Jones sign and bring it back towards the black dot.
See if he's made an adjustment. Ball pointing towards the left upright, if anything. The strike is away to the left-hand side as well. He couldn't make an adjustment. The Knights take the chance to add 2 points to retake the lead, and Miller hooks it across the face.
And that message from Adam O'Brien might have been, we might need to find another kicker here tonight. Goal kicking proving crucial for Newcastle.
Hastings, of course, is a kicker himself. The only other person in the team tonight. Tyson Gamble has kicked a couple of goals in his time, but Hastings is the other main kicker.
That's
they
brilliant.
get a restart here from the 20-metre dropout. Tapped backwards by Sorensen, who might have hurt himself.
What a play from Sorensen. That is huge.
They get the ball back here when the Knights thought they were getting a chance at a do-over. Instead, they're under the pump once again. It's Cleary for Yo. Comes back to Liotta. Now a Penrith thinking about the field goal. They'll go to the right-hand side. Knights fans urging their team on here, willing them to find something once again inside their own 20. Kenny, he goes to Cleary off the right foot, fending away from defenders, taken to ground. Boy, what a fend he put on Saifiti. Last play here, it comes back to Yo. Luai, they're pushing through, looking for a kick, but it comes off legs, and Hastings has it for Newcastle.
Great work from the Newcastle halfback. Came out of the line, got his legs in the way, and the sheer desperation and ticker from Jackson Hastings comes up with an enormous play. Look at this. Just digs his leg out the left leg and then scrambles and fights for his life. There it is. Great play from the Newcastle halfback.
Penrith again had the chance to build towards a field goal and ignore that opportunity. And they've had 2 now inside the 20. The Knights at their own halfway line will play it here for Crossland. He's back out there for this finale, and what a finale it is. Hastings from outside the 40 will kick again to Turova. Here comes Young again, weaving in traffic. Tungor showed him the open door this time. Turova makes the catch, and they'll begin at their own 10. He didn't want to risk it once again, this man, Isaac Tungor. Turova has been so solid under the high ball. Here he is, taking a carry.
He's been awesome. Well, since everyone started to tie, particularly the middle forwards, his carries have been awesome. Crichton now trying to get on the outside of Best again.
What has also been awesome is the atmosphere here at this venue tonight. Boy, they've turned the clock back. It's Crichton. Or rather, who brings it back to almost the 40. Cleary looking for a floater. In fact, it's a beautiful spiral just hanging there on the breeze. A chance here to put Young under pressure. He's knocked it on. And the kick of Cleary gets a result for Penrith.
Hold on.
Jackson!
Now it's a bit of MMA between Dominic Young and Sunia Turova. And you're talking about weight divisions a moment ago, Mick.
Release!
There's a big discrepancy here. Turova's a welterweight.
There's a great kick from Cleary, spiraled in the breeze, as you said. Like a good Shane Warne leg break, just turned over away from Young and then whacked under the ribs from Turuva. Gagai knocking the ball on, and then a little set to from the 2 wingers, getting a little restless.
Well, he took him to the mat, but he couldn't get the 3 count from the referee. Turova up against Dominic Young. What a contest that is. We've still got time for it to continue on here, don't worry.
5.5 remaining. And here is opportunity number 3, Mick. The Panthers to take a 1-pointer. Surely this time.
Look at Nathan.
That's
look
what
at this.
Cleary and Luai are talking about with Isaiah Yeo as well.
Yeah. Good to see Nathan there to say, take one there, take one there, take one there, and then find me. So they're going to have a scrum plate, and they might take another 1 or 2 shots, and then Cleary will get himself in the pocket.
Guys, let's go. Come on, move across.
Man who kicked that incredible 2-point field goal against the Eels earlier this season.
Just yarn over there, Lachlan. Make sure we stay in.
Begin here from the 20.
Ball in.
Luke at the back of the scrum.
Break.
And they come to the left edge to begin with. Let's see how long they wait. Good carry here from Tundra.
Jackson. Stay square, Tyson.
The closer you get to the line, though, the harder it is to kick them. It brings the defence right up in your face as Cleary hands it off to Hosking. Taken down there and a good stop by Croker. Couple of plays gone. Yo, Kenny. Looking for a legs tackle and a quick play the ball.
He's in the pocket.
Here he is. Luke looking at Cleary. Goes to Salmon instead. It was the old decoy. Salmon takes it to the line, but now they're only a metre away. They've got 2 tackles remaining. Cleary is deep, and as a result, the defence through Miller is right there in his face. He comes back to Edwards. He's stepping. Cleary gets back there. He's ready once again. Luke goes to Cleary. He drops it onto the boot. It's a wobbly one. It's a shocker.
Time's off.
Gee, that's unlike Nathan. He just didn't hit it well at all, did he? Nathan saying the mark not square. You could hear Jackson Hastings being called out. Yeah, that says it all. If you're disappointed, Nathan, and 7 tackles set now for Newcastle. They'll get a shot too. Listen to the crowd. What about this?
As loud as they've been throughout the night. Second half tackles, 28-2 in the opposing 20.
That's a great
big run there by Kurt, man. You're right, Mick, as Crossland, he comes here to Frizzell, spinning his way downfield. Couple more plays here to get themselves within range, well within range. Croker doing what he has to do. Simple stuff. Hastings is waiting, wants to go now. Goes across the field. Gamble has 2 field goals in his career. He's now got a 3rd. What a kick by Tyson Gamble. He puts the Knights in front. 3 minutes remaining. It's 15-14.
Yeah, what a play. They found Hastings on the right. He switched it back to Tyson Gamble, who scored the opening try of the night in Newcastle 5-8. And his moment came to deliver. And he drives it between the sticks. Watch his reaction. Look at the home fans. Look at this. They're going berserk in Newcastle. Newcastle in front of the reigning premiers with 3 to go.
How long since we've seen these scenes? Penrith get it back off the restart. And they will get a chance at a do-over here. Luai has it. 35 metres out. Miller getting tangled up. Needs to be careful. Doesn't want to give away a penalty. Not with Cleary's prowess. Turova. He'll play it here from Luke. They come back to the middle. Cleary turns it underneath for Hosking. 3 tackles gone. Just beyond the 25. Yo for Sorensen. They just punch it through the middle, and Cleary is there again. Waiting calmly and coolly. He'll go once again. He strikes it. It's away to the right-hand side. No, it's good!
There's a drama here.
It is good, and there's problems off the back of it. It looked as though it slewed away to the right-hand side, but it scraped inside the upright, and the contact through Fitzgibbon might be important as well. He took him down. There it is. What a kick by Cleary.
Yeah, beautifully placed, composed,
It is the goal.
calm.
Time's off.
Cleary hit over the ball, and it's late contact there from Fitzgibbon. Unnecessary contact from Fitzgibbon.
I'll talk to Nathan, mate. That's captain. Go and grab him. Sorry I was over it, because he's on the field.
There's a bit of feeling starting to come into this game, and again, it's Sunia Turuva.
It's a real chance of bubbling over here. Turuva in there. The touch judge in the middle of the field. Both of them, in fact, coming to sort things out. Now Tundor wants to go at it with Young. Oh, boy. It has been building, as you said, Mick. Look at this. It's flaring up. Hosking's in there, being grabbed by a Knights player and dragged out of it. Bradman Best now in the middle of things. There's a bit to look at here.
Well, are we comfortable that it wasn't a penalty from Lachlan Fitzgibbon? He blatantly just hung the arm out. I know there's not a lot in it, but it's high contact on Nathan Cleary, isn't it?
So with the field goal being good, it's going to be a restart.
You're not the captain, so enough talk.
Listen to the referee.
Go.
Maybe it hits him in the chest and just drags him.
Yeah, on the ground. That's why. His arm was up here. I can only tell you what I've been told, mate. I didn't see the replay.
Well, we're locked up here, 15 all. Referee's not going to change his decision. Someone needs to compose themselves and get the job done here. The Iceman, he responds. It was Tyson Gamble levelling one from 30 metres out to put the Knights in front. They get the restart back to the Panthers, and it's Cleary who just keeps getting it done. He's a freak.
Lachlan Fitzgibbon, in some ways, very fortunate to be on the field still and not have this 13 versus 12. Took a real chance there at being sin-bin. Had he been marched, there'd be no fault with the referee, given what we know as far as those situations in 2023. They're pushing up here, looking for contact. Turuva runs in behind a teammate when he threw himself on the ground. No problem there. The crowd baying for a penalty. They won't get one.
He's played tough, Mitch Kenny, hasn't he? Often as the middle forward. Boy, he's got through some work.
He has played big minutes in that role. Sonny Luke out there in this role, darting from dummy half. 4 plays gone. We've got just on 2 minutes remaining. It's 15 apiece in one of the games of this first half of the season. And boy, we have seen some. Cleary, he kicks it deep. Tumbling end over end. Miller makes a good catch there. Brings it back, pokes his nose through the line. Can they get the metres they need for a long ranger perhaps here from Hastings or Gamble once again?
Yeah, definitely. I think Nathan Cleary wanted a bit more on that kick. He didn't hit it as well as he would have liked, and therefore a little shallow. Fitzgibbon now on play 3, well over the halfway line. They might get another shot here, was.
Here's Kurt Mann, wanted a better carry than that there. He's at the 40. Couple of plays remaining. Miller takes a good run and gets the legs tackle he was looking for. Now they're set. Hastings is there. Penrith come pouring out at him, and they force a kick. Will find the dead ball line and give Penrith, 7 tackles from their 20. Adam O'Brien can barely stand the tension here. And boy, there's some tension.
Wait for the tap.
They've been so good tonight, Newcastle.
Yeah, just watch the outside backs of Penrith here roll up the sleeves and try and get them downfield.
Let's see if Penrith can do what Newcastle just did. There's the first right there. They're 10 on their own side of halfway. They'll definitely be within range for Cleary or Luai. We're looking for a one-on-one strip on Hosking. Hosking does well to cough the ball up. Edwards takes a carry. That's 3 gone. Just outside the 40.
Great carry. They're in Cleary's range, was.
Trademark carry there. Cleary wants it now. From outside the 30, he strikes it. It's away to the right-hand side. It will go dead. And we're going to do some extra time here in Newcastle. They came out to put pressure on him. And under that pressure, the kick from Cleary. As they go long from the 20 here, Newcastle, they'll give it back to Edwards, who will bring it back. The siren will sound and send us to golden points.
What a game. And you're seeing it live right here in your home of rugby league, Fox League. This is unbelievable, Mick.
Boy, it's been a spirited performance from the home side. In the second half, it's just been all the Panthers, their own worst enemy, the Newcastle side early in the second half. A number of errors gifted the Panthers huge blocks of possession, but their defensive resolve tonight has been superb. Gamble levelling it, putting the Knights in front from almost 40 metres out. He struck it beautifully to get them to 15-14 with only 3 minutes remaining before Cleary stepped up under pressure and levelled it at 15 all. Fitzgibbon, lucky, boy was he lucky not to give away a penalty there and almost find himself in the sin bin. And things spill over, and then here we go. What's Golden Point, you beauty.
Well, the feeling between these two teams hasn't dropped off in the couple of minutes we've had since that Cleary field goal. The Knights were feeding out, trying to come up with big contact on the Panthers on that last set. Listening for the toss here.
Heads it is. Go that way. So you guys kicking off. No, yeah, if they're running that way, so you guys will be kicking off that way.
With the help of the breeze, Nathan Cleary says we'll take this nor'easter and head towards the southern end for perhaps a long ranger early on in this Golden Point period.
Well, you've only got to go back a couple of weeks ago, and it was that game against the Parramatta side where Cleary was brilliant when he stepped up in those dying moments to kick that incredible 40-metre field goal. Both coaches on the edge of their seats.
As we take a look at what's happening north of the border. Seabus Super Stadium, the Titans at home against the Broncos. It should be a full house, you'd imagine. The Titans have shown some form in 2023. The Broncos, 5 wins, 1 loss through their opening 6 rounds. And we're about to see if the Panthers go to 4-2 or whether it's the Newcastle Knights who grab their 4th win of the season. We've already had one 90-minute draw, and of course the Knights were involved in that at Mudgee just 2 weeks ago against the Seagulls. It was 32 apiece on that occasion. Here they are again in Golden Point once more. We're underway. Miller with the restart. Luai gives it to Leniu, who brings it back to Gagai, makes a good stop there. They have this breeze at their backs.
Perfect start. 2 great carries.
See if they can get themselves in range in this very first set. We know what Nathan Cleary can do. Yo, he finds Salmon. Back in Newcastle territory already. One more play here. Is it worth a long ranger? And of course, if you miss, you give the other team 7 tackles. They're only 35 metres out here, maybe less. Cleary's there again. He wants it now. The strike is a good one.
He's kicked it.
Cleary has done it again. Nathan Cleary wins it for Penrith in Golden Point. He's the man with the golden boot. What a stomach punch for Newcastle.
Yeah, can you believe it was?
Full house, Mick.
Can you believe it? Nathan Cleary, just 40 seconds into Golden Point. A couple of tremendous charges from their forwards, but none better than the carry from Dylan Edwards as he charged his way into Newcastle's half, and Cleary said, I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting a second longer. In position, the Iceman. Head over the ball, cracks it straight underneath, and drills it between the sticks. What a champion. What a champion of our game, Nathan Cleary. With ice in his veins, delivers and gets Penrith an incredible win here in Newcastle.
The man who has led them to back-to-back premierships in a game they never looked like winning until the last play of the game. From that man in Golden Point, Nathan Cleary gets the Panthers home at full time. It's Penrith 16, Newcastle 15.